broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Do you feel it? Do you feel it? I can only be speaking of one thing. It is the American Idol After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Welcome, super fans. We are your one-stop, one destination for true recap. For true recap? That sounded so wonky. Okay,
that sounded true.
All right, guys. Now, a quick reminder, if you haven't done so already, if you want to subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV, leave us a comment, let us know what you think, and if you want the audio version, go to iTunes or SoundCloud as well. You guys are nodding away. You guys are going to be trouble already. I can tell.
Trouble.
I'm not singing.
And also, if you want to tweet at us, make sure to go to #ABTVIdol. And of course, for you David Cook fans, we have a special treat, but that's coming up a little bit later. But first, let us introduce our host, starting with, hi, I'm JC Rubio. You can find me at JC Rubio TV on Twitter and Instagram. And now, hello. Let us introduce our wonderful panel of hosts. And before we start off, our sassy Colombiana is not here this week.
I'll have to make up for it.
Okay, we have two sassy people.
Yeah, it's here.
Bring the sass.
Steffi G, we'll see you soon. You better get back here quick. All right, starting with the lovely lady to my left. Who do we
Hey
have tonight?
everybody, I'm Violet Kanian. Oh, and you can find me, right, on Twitter?
Yeah, that's what the kids are
Violet
doing.
Kanian, right? I'm on there,
Yeah,
right?
you can.
And next to Violet, our next sassy queen.
Oh, hi, I'm Jason Ikeler. You can find me at Jason Ikeler. Thanks for coming in today, guys.
We're still mind blown from the episode because overall, I thought it was a great
I was saying because y'all
show.
bailed on me last week.
Okay, let's address that because the fans loved it.
By myself.
Were you alone?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
No. But let me tell you this. From this moment on, I think every season, we're all going to miss 1 week except for Jason. And we're going to call it Jason's State of the Union Address. Because your information was fantastic. As always, you were spot on and well
Thank
done.
you.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
But now we're all here except for Steffi G. Hopefully next week we'll have us all here. Oh, come on, Violet. Come on, consistency, kids.
Sorry.
You all need to know what it means and what it means to be a superstar, like everyone did here tonight. The boys brought it for the most part. Jason already disagrees. We're 3 minutes in. It's going to be rough.
Underwhelmed by almost everyone.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah, and I was really, really looking forward to it because I'm fans of so many of them, but...
Interesting.
All right, Violet, tiebreaker.
I loved it. I thought a lot of them did very well. I thought maybe one person did really bad, and others were okay, but most of them were really good.
All right, well, fans, let us know what you think. What side of the fence you're on, yay or nay on tonight's Top 12 Boys. But first off, let's start. Jason, take it away because this is your kind of your stomping grounds. They were at the historic Fillmore, correct?
Oh, yeah. I used to go to that venue all the time when I lived in Detroit. I saw Kelly Clarkson there on 2 tours, and she held my hand once, and the other time I had a meet and greet, and it was awesome.
All right, and what about Violet? Now, what did you like about this? You guys were up in arms. I think we were all really passionate about tonight, but what were some of your favorite moments? Was it the critiques? What was it about tonight?
I think just the performances. I feel like this year, even just the top 24, the 12 guys that we've seen, have more stage presence than our top 5 even did last year.
Really?
Yeah.
I 100% agree with that when it comes to stage presence.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right, so let's dive in. Let us dive in first off with, okay, I want to say he started off the show, it was the first performance. He started the party. Now, whether or not it was a party you would stay at, Jason or Violet, we're about to find out. And that is Adam, I always butcher his name.
Ezegelian?
Ezegelian, thank you. Ezegelian, he started with, I want to rock. Ooh.
Okay,
Twisted Sister.
Adam is very, very talented. Like he can sing vocally. I wouldn't change a single thing, but he has to work on his image and not just what he's wearing. Because if he's gonna be a rock star, you have to portray a rock star. Nobody's gonna buy that. You know what I mean? Like that's like a fun thing to watch for 30 seconds, but you're not gonna have a sustainable career if you don't have an image that matches your sound. A. B, he has to watch his face when he's singing. I said this last week, but he makes crazy facial expressions that are almost laughable. And we had this with Caleb, and I think this is the third time I'm saying this, but if you can't make relevant rock music, you're not going to sell albums.
Okay, all right. Violet, where do you fall on this one?
I agree on that his voice is really, really good. I think that his voice is so good that he can do pop. Where I feel like last year Caleb couldn't do pop or probably didn't want to do pop. I feel like he can and he probably does want to. I don't know. I think his personality is great. He may have shown a little too much today. Personality, image, everything.
Really?
He needs a little help.
What do you think? Like, what kind of pop song do you see him doing?
That's a good one. I don't know.
Oh, come on. We got to back it up, girl. Come on.
I'll think about it.
Okay.
Actually, I would have liked to see him do like a Gavin DeGraw song.
Ooh, tone it down a little bit. Yeah, that would have been good.
It makes me, I hate to say it's because there's a fine line between personality and whether or not he's taking it seriously.
Yeah.
I think it's personality, but I wonder if certain people in America, the people voting, are going to wonder, well, is he a fun guy? Can he be here for the long haul? That's what I want to know. Do you see him being in the top 4, top 3?
See, and I'm watching this season especially because we need a superstar to come out. I'm thinking career long haul, and at this point, I don't see that with him. But I'm open to be changed.
And Violet, I forgot which of you two mentioned about the styling, but they haven't been but they haven't been styled yet. I mean, that's the whole part of the process,
but
right?
But it's still, you're going on stage. You know, it's not what was it? The Pantages. You're not on this small stage anymore. You're in front of a huge audience. You're in front of everybody voting for you. National, and you need to kind of, I don't know, look at YouTube videos and see how rock stars dress or wannabe rock stars or even House of Blue rock stars dress.
Okay. All right. I'm not going to fault them. I cannot question people's fashion. Anyway, let's move on to our
can we stop right there?
Oh, you're right.
We can stop because we need to share something.
JC can't question fashion for a reason.
I'm in the penalty box today.
JC, can you please stand up for our wonderful viewers?
You know, if we have time at the end of the show.
If you're on iTunes, you're going to need to log on to YouTube right now. JC Rubio.
I lost my pants. Okay,
please stand. Show
stand.
Do it for the
we don't have
fans.
a lot of time.
It's gonna mess up our camera angles, guys.
No, you just walk
right
in front.
where you
We'll
are.
narrate.
Cameras will be fine. Don't worry about it.
Oh,
there you go.
If they tweet us, if we get some tweets saying,
I just got one.
Okay, there we go. All right, I'll save it to the end of the show because we got to move on.
Oh my gosh!
If you guys behave, I will show my goods. I didn't mean it that way.
Whoa. Okay, behave.
Speaking of, let's move on to Michael Simeon. Okay, the farmer. What?
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna take this one.
You take it.
Okay. So I actually fell in love with him on, what was it, Thursdays? Or last week, basically. I fell in love
He's
with him.
in MKTO last week, right?
I don't remember.
I think so.
All I remember thinking was, holy smokes, this guy has swag. And he's a little farm boy. Like, farm boys don't come out with swag. Okay? I know many farm boys, and they don't have swag.
Really? Okay.
Nor can they move the way
should put that on his
Michael
shirt.
does. And I feel like he's the perfect person to, you know how everyone that wins is white guy with a guitar? Mm-hmm. I think he's the perfect person to fit that mold, but he wouldn't be that kind of artist. He could be an R&B artist. He could be a pop artist. He could be something like, almost like Justin Timberlake if he really worked at it.
Really?
But I didn't think his vocals were on point tonight.
You didn't think the vocals were on point? Okay. Jason, I know you're ready.
I think it's song choice, and I think this was a horrible song choice. He didn't do anything to make it current. It felt to me like he was karaokeing, and I think he has a really good voice, and I thought last week when he did the MKTO thing with a little more swag, that's the direction he needs to go in. I think it looked amateur, especially his, like, button up with the tie untucked in his baggy pants. Like, it's not 2004. That's not cute. And I think
He's a farmer.
yeah, but you're a farmer. Well, you're in Detroit. So
Nothing's wrong with being a farmer, but I'm just saying.
No, but I'm saying you're trying to be a pop star.
True.
You have to, especially if you're trying to sing songs like this, you're going for sex appeal.
Well,
Nobody wants sex appeal if we can't even see your body.
let's wait a minute. Let's say maybe you love his swag. I mean, you love.
From what I saw last week.
Okay. Let's say he holds on for a few weeks. He's gonna get tons of free clothes. He's gonna get the makeover.
Once he gets the Idol makeover, he'll be great in it. But I think even vocally, it just wasn't there for me tonight, and I just think it's this performance because I really do like him.
Agreed. Gosh, I hate agreeing with Jason sometimes, but he's spot on. And it's not the vocals for me. It was the song choice. If you're young, be young.
What was it, Michael Bolton?
Michael Bolton, how am I supposed to live without you? And
Didn't it just have like a little bit of a cornball factor?
he was earnest. You have to say you could see him trying his hardest.
Oh yeah, and I will say,
connected.
like Violet said earlier, he's very connected. Everybody we've had is connected to the song. It's not that he doesn't look comfortable. It's that it was just a bad song to sing.
See, and I wrote in my notes, I wonder what songs he could have picked if he had a choice. But then I realized they chose their songs tonight.
Right.
So then that makes me question as we go further along. And I think Scott Borchetta is going to have to really work with him.
I feel like, sorry to cut you off, I feel like he was trying to go back to his audition where he was like this really sweet guy and he was dancing with J-Lo.
Like a crooner.
Yeah, I think he was trying to go back to that, but I don't see him fitting that mold. I see him fitting more of the R&B pop star mold.
So you think he's got that pop?
I do.
Okay. It's so funny. I think we've spent more time on these two than they did on the actual show. The show was so quick tonight.
I like that though.
Okay.
It was good. We weren't like bored. It was quick. It wasn't any fillers. There was no time for fillers.
All right. So we didn't get enough of Savion Wright, his 2-season journey.
I can't.
You can't? What? You can't?
I
What?
can't believe it's the same guy.
Okay. Are you going to confess?
Okay.
If you say this will maybe influence me on if I'm going to show the wardrobe.
If I admit this right now, you're going to get up.
Possibly. Tell us about.
Let it out, sister.
Okay, so I don't know. I think the entire time I've been saying how freaking hot Savion Wright is, and I think he's so fine. I just realized on Thursday's episode last week who he was last year, and I don't believe it. I don't think it's the same guy, and I think they're just playing mind tricks with us.
He became a man.
He became a man. Hot damn.
And Violet likes it. Okay, I think Savion is like infectious to watch. When you watch, like when he's on stage, I'm not taking notes. I'm just watching him.
Okay.
I think vocally he started out really strong. The choruses were a little bit weaker, but I think it just comes down to breath support. And it felt a little bit like a dress rehearsal. I think if he could go and sing that song right now, it would be better. It just felt a little unrehearsed and lacking breath support, but he'll for sure make it to the next round.
For sure. We're losing a third of the boys.
Yeah.
We're losing a third. We are losing 4.
If we lose him, I'll be shocked.
Yeah, I will too.
You will be shocked. I think he's in trouble.
Really?
And that hurts me to say because I think he's a great guy. I loved him last season. I loved him because of the story. The story gets you somewhere on this show, but I think there's so many other stronger competitors off of tonight's performance.
Yeah, but I think he has the story and the personality and the looks.
I didn't remember his story, and I loved him. I love his style. I love his voice, and I love his stage presence.
Well, look, okay, all right, I'll take that, but I'll tell you why. I'm going to give you 2. I thought he even had an uneven start. If you listen to the first line when it played again, and he was a little shaky. I don't know if it was the moment, and to me it seemed like he was doing a lot of things, engaging the audience. He had the guitar, and I think even J-Lo brought that up. Engage the camera.
Yeah.
Play to the camera a little more.
I remember one time on Idol where Simon was telling the people, like Simon yelled at somebody for holding hands with the fans, and I remember him saying something along the lines of like, these aren't your fans yet, like it makes you look cocky, these are kids that are just putting their hands up. And I actually always think about that when I'm watching it, because nobody, like, yes, the little girls are there to watch Michael Simeon hold their hands, but they don't care, it's just somebody on the stage.
Right.
And I think until you've earned that, that it does come across as a little bit cocky and unconnected.
Yeah, it almost seemed like, I don't know if I would classify that song as like a mid-tempo. I wouldn't call it like
kind of.
It is.
I think the arrangement of it was mid-tempo.
And mid-tempos, I think, if you look back in the history, I've always talked about them, and they get people in trouble.
Yep.
You either want a power ballad,
Because
or
you want to feel something,
Right.
and mid-tempo doesn't make you feel.
But with that song, I didn't say anything about his performance. That's like one of my favorite songs ever. I'm like obsessed with that song, and I feel like he changed it up a lot. But it wasn't to the point where I didn't like it. It wasn't to the point where it ruined the song for me. So I feel like he can do that. He has that ability to change up songs and not kill it.
All right. So it's a bittersweet moment, and we agree to disagree, because I like him, I do, but I think this year's really deep. I think there's a lot of good singers this season. So I think just one bad night could land you in trouble this early in the competition. Let's say a month from now, you've built up even more equity, and you have an off night, you can get away with it. I think tonight, some people could be in trouble. So let's move on to Mark Andrews singing "The Weight" by the band, Minneapolis landscaper. Now, someone told me that he had some time on The Voice.
I've heard that. A lot of people were. I was tweeting him.
Yeah.
I'm
I don't remember
a big fan
him.
already. But yeah, and a lot of people are like, "Oh, he was on The Voice. He was great on The Voice too." So.
Okay, so
We've got a lot of people that flip-flop between the two shows, I feel like.
Can I say something? God bless him. I think the last few weeks, I lost him a little bit. I think he said he was really tired. He kept saying, "I'm really tired," and I think Hollywood Week really killed him, really kicked his butt. But tonight, I liked him. I thought it was a pleasant surprise. I liked him a lot better tonight. It was the best I've heard him in weeks, for me. And agree, disagree. I mean, I thought he might have I was going to ask, if I could ask him one thing, I would ask him, did he have a little bit of jitters going in tonight?
I feel like maybe I didn't even get that from him. I just think this was a mid-tempo song, like we just talked about. It was just a bad song choice. He's a good singer, but it's funny you mentioned The Voice, because while I was watching, I was thinking, like, he just reminds me of, like, every person you see on The Voice, where it's like a white guy with a soulful voice and a guitar. And I don't think he does anything to wow me. Like, I think he's talented, and I think he's a talented musician, but I don't think he has the it factor.
Interesting.
Are you saying, so at this level right now, we were talking about how deep they are and whatnot, do you think more of a point of view where we know him as an artist?
Yeah, that, and I think there have been we're oversaturated with these shows, and I've seen this performance on X Factor, I've seen it on Rising Star, I've seen it on The Voice, I've seen it on Idol. You know what I mean? And it's like, there was 2 or 3 moments tonight where I'm like, wow, I need to pay attention. And this was just kind of one where I'm like, do. And it's not that he was bad, but everybody else in America has seen this many of the shows too. So you have to go above and beyond. You have to do something different. It's not enough to just stand up there and be a good singer.
So what do you think we could do? Because I know, in the past we always say, oh, I don't like this. I want to find solutions. What are some solutions? What does he?
I think you have to wow us, and I don't think he's looking at it. He's looking at it, approaching it, I'm assuming, like he would play it at a bar. Like, just make it a good song and a good vocal. But you have to figure out how to rope in every single person in the audience. For these shows, you have to have a build in your song. You have to have a moment where, like a Goosebumps moment. And he was good. He was good, but he wasn't great.
It was like a straight, good performance. I'm a huge fan of his voice. I think it's so amazing. I think it's one of my favorite voices on the show right now. But he should have picked a song that he could have done more with. He's so talented, and we've seen him do so much more, that this song was just so like, la-da-dee-da-dee, I'm singing, I'm great, okay, I'm done. And you're just like...
And I feel like a song like that is okay if you're like far in the competition, you get 2 songs in one night.
Right.
Building that equity on the show.
But other than that, I don't think you should do mid-tempo songs like that.
And I'm a huge fan of this song, by the way.
All right, so did the next person get us out of our chair? We kind of disagreed a little bit. I wasn't here last week, but I really wanted to mention, he's been a standout. He literally makes me get out of my chair.
Really?
He has. But tonight, not his strongest. But I think he's done so well so far. And I think he'll get a pass. Great looking guy. He's got chops, I'm telling you. But just tonight, maybe a step back. He's been stellar so far, but
We're talking about the same person.
Yes.
Trevor?
Oh, whoops. I went elsewhere.
I was like,
Oh, I was so confused.
really?
Okay.
You're talking about Clark Beckham.
I jumped to Clark Beckham.
Let's go back to Trevor Douglas.
I'm so
Okay,
sorry.
I'm
just
trying to read the
like-
tweet too.
I got my notes backwards on this one. So
I'm glad
sorry.
we caught that.
Wow. Okay. Yes. They were looking at me totally kerfunkled. They're like, "What? What is he talking?" Because, okay. Best I ever had, Gavin DeGraw by Trevor Douglas. I loved his personality, but the voice tonight. What happened?
He's trying to put way too much personality. I feel like his voice hasn't always been great. He has a good voice, but it's never been great, and I feel like he tries to cover that up with the personality and the little things he does, and he was going to the audience. It's like, hold up. Like, you gotta prove with your voice that it's really good first, and then go up to the fans and kind of, flirt with them or whatever. I think it's too much personality too soon. But with the personality on the upside, he reminds me of, what was the guy that Steffi was, like, obsessed with last season?
Sam Wolf?
Yeah, he reminds me of him, but with personality.
Oh, that's interesting.
Like, the way he performs, but with personality.
I think he just took on a song that was way too big for him. He needs to be singing like something not as vocally challenging. Mm-hmm. And I think then he can show off his personality and kind of sell it more. But when you're singing these songs that A, take like a really like deep husky voice, and then or B, super rangy, and you don't have that, it just makes it look like amateur hour. Mm-hmm. And he's very likable, and I want him to do well, but this I think might have cost him.
Yeah.
Too much. Trying too hard.
But don't answer this. Save it to predictions. But don't answer this. Do you think the tween vote, the power vote, is going to get him past to the next week? Okay, so moving on. Let you guys think about that.
Okay.
Clark Beckham. Now I can restart my gushing about this guy. Love this guy so far. He's soulful. He makes me get out of my chair. Literally. Not now.
Damn it.
No, I'm not showing the wardrobe yet.
How.
No. But tonight wasn't my favorite of his.
I'm so bummed because literally his first line, I wrote the one to beat. And then from there, I feel like it all fell apart. And he was shaky. It was just pitchy all over. And he looked nervous. And I think he knew it wasn't good.
But then the judges stood up.
Yeah.
And they were going crazy for him. And I'm confused.
It must sound different when you're there. I mean, it's a theater. It's even different than in the Idol studio because it's a studio made for TV. But the theater, obviously, the acoustics sound differently, so maybe they can't hear that his voice is off. Because he was going for it, he just wasn't landing where he was supposed to.
Yeah, no, I wrote that. Fix some of the notes, and I think he'll be fine. I really do, because the stuff he's done so far.
Yeah.
And maybe that's why the judges weren't as hard on him. But I think they should be. I think he's a guy you could actually critique kind of hard.
He'll take it well.
He'll take it well. He's stellar. He'll make the adjustments. I think he's seasoned enough.
I think he was a little uncomfortable without the piano there, too.
I was about to say, it was nice to see him away from the instrument, but he probably needs it.
In a weird, I'm doing a baseball analogy. I shouldn't do this on American Idol's after show because Jason is, see? Yeah, both of you guys.
Is baseball the one with the bat?
I'm going to leave awkward silence right now. No, okay, but I think this middle part of the show is like the meat of the show because you've got Clark and now you've got Rayvon doing Jealous by Nick Jonas. I mean, what are you laughing at?
Oh, I thought that was a baseball reference.
It was just a smart song choice.
Really?
Really smart. The song is freaking huge right now.
Okay.
Almost overplayed. Young girls will probably vote just because he sang the song. And it helped him show off his falsetto.
I agree. I think it was really good song choice. I liked what J-Lo said where you do need to like get a little less happy the whole time and work on that.
So nice, though.
But I mean, we're only at the top 24. He has stuff to work on, obviously. But vocally, I thought he killed it. His falsetto, I thought, was really strong. And I think up until this point, what we have seen so far tonight, I think he's the most relevant.
Yes. He's got an it factor, is what I say.
Yes.
And not just that, challenging what J-Lo said, what you just said, she said she wanted him to bring more of a thug into Jealous. Okay, Nick Jonas sings this song.
He sings it in a thuggish way.
I've seen it live. I've seen him do it live. I have, and it's a challenging song. And And I was pleasantly surprised, but I think they're just nitpicking because he's that good.
Yeah, but that's what I like when they're that good, and then they get things that are like, take this and work on it because you are so good. Where it's like somebody else, where it's like, sweetie, just go have a glass of wine.
Right.
You know?
That works.
I don't think we can offer a glass of wine to our next competitor. That is sweet. Not yet. Give him a few years because he's a whole lot of awesome.
He's so adorable.
Daniel Seavey. All right, so I thought he was nervous tonight.
Oh, yeah.
He was, but he's so likable that it doesn't matter.
It's so funny because I didn't like him before.
Really?
Yeah, I know he's like this tiny little boy, but I always felt like it was too much personality. He was trying too hard, like the flirting with J-Lo every single time he hit the stage. I don't know. It was just kind of putting me off. But today I fell in love with him. I don't know. I think it was he got a little more humble. When he was on stage, maybe it was because he was nervous.
Yeah.
And even afterwards, he was like, "Oh my gosh, that was amazing! He did a cute little spin." I'm like, okay, now he's a kid. Like, now he's acting his age, but he's singing so well that everyone's gonna love him.
Yeah, I think you could definitely hear the nerves in his voice, but I don't care. And I think literally all that comes down to just breath support, and he'll be fine.
Right.
He'll be good to go because he has range and he has like a cool little like grunty thing that he does. I think if once they start working in with like the vocal coaches and everything, I could see him going top 5, top 4, top 3, top 2.
Wow.
Yeah, absolutely. America's going to love him, and I love that J-Lo told him to even out the song a little. She thought she wanted him, and it was on point. Because he is super likable, so he's already got. Because Idol's also the campaign, the game, the likability. He's got that down pat. So, like you said, just a few it was the moment that got to him tonight. I think he'll shake it off. He'll be fine next week.
But I think almost like I think of Taylor Swift when she first got into the industry, and her live performances weren't amazing, but because she was always so excited to be there, and so like everybody's like, oh, I love that girl, and I think he has that quality about him. And Scott Borchetta probably is going to see that.
Oh, yeah. He's going to love him. All right, so, Violet, I want to give this one to you because this is your wheelhouse.
Yes. Oh, my gosh. Riley Bria singing Homeboy by Eric Church, which amazing song choice, by the way. It was really... I like Riley a lot, and I'm so glad that last week he was chosen over the other country guy because the other guy was not good. This guy's really good. He plays guitar amazing, obviously. We know that. But I wish he put a little more grit into the song. It's such... I don't know. Maybe I'm comparing it to the original by Eric Church. And Eric Church sings with such passion and such power. Even with that song, that entire first part of it, I feel like was just... He was just singing through it. He was trying to get through it. So I didn't like that, but he did, I don't know what it's called when they like kind of, I don't know, the song changes all of a sudden, got slower, and that part he did really well looking to the camera and kind of feeling it. He felt it more the second half.
I felt the same. I thought I don't know this song, but it seemed like the song was too big for him. And I think maybe the same with Daniel, like pick a song a little bit better for your range. But I think when you're watching him, you think, like, that just reminded me of any, like, country award show performance.
Exactly.
Like, even if the vocals were a little shaky, he has stage presence, he has a look about him, he has an image.
He has a confidence.
Yeah, he has a confidence. And he has, like, a swag, like a country, like, he really is like a mini Keith Urban. And if you showed me that performance and said this kid sold 1 million records, I would believe you.
After watching that performance.
Yeah, and I'm not saying it was great, but I'm saying he has something about him, which is, like, what we're looking for, that makes me think he could go on to be huge.
Go watch the Eric Church perform that and come back to me. Okay. I would love to know what you think.
No, I will. I want to.
First thing I wrote was like, oh no, I thought he might be in trouble. I thought he might be in trouble, but he fits in the country mold right now for the show. So I think he'll be fine because I thought he was flat.
Maybe that's...
I think the song is actually too low for him.
Okay.
Because the verses of that song are really low. And I think he's just got a higher voice.
He needed to bring it low and add a little grit.
Or something,
That's what was missing.
Because I love his personality. I love him from the very first episode. He's just such a likable kid. And he fits that country demo Southeastern United States going to vote crazy for him because that's what they do. And where do all the winners come from? Usually, the southeastern part of the United States. So,
and he's the only country guy, so that helps.
So I think he should be fine, but you never know because then you have someone who put a spell, I think, on all of us.
Yes.
Quentin Alexander. Thoughts?
This was the performance of the night where I was like this.
Yes.
First performance not this season, but one of the first this season where I was like, wow. Mm-hmm. I just am a little afraid because of how he looks, what's going to happen to him because Middle America is voting, and he kind of looks like he's from Twilight. He's got the fur, he's got the crazy clothes, and I love it. I mean, I love everything he was wearing, but I don't know if like moms from the Midwest are going to enjoy that.
I totally agree with everything you just said. I feel like he has a very Lenny Kravitz look to him, and if people liked Lenny, maybe they could like him. But his voice is freaking phenomenal. Every single time he hits the stage, I get surprised because I forget how good he is, and that might hurt him.
How could you forget him with the outfit alone?
I feel like though they're not selling him to us as much as the other ones.
Right.
I remember him, but I don't remember his talent.
Why are they not selling? Because
they know who their audience is.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Because he's phenomenal.
He's amazing.
He is an artist.
Yeah, but we all live in LA.
Yeah,
and see
we're
people
used
that
to
look like that every day of our lives.
You ought to see our engineer. Yeah, absolutely.
Or JC shorts.
Hey, we're not going there yet.
Now we know he's wearing shorts.
No, everything, his outfit, his persona. I mean, he's an artist. He's
so ready.
He is an artist. Can he fit the Idol mold? Do you think he would want to win Idol? Because he can be, I mean, to be under the rules of Idol, I think he's more of an artist. I mean, he's that free spirit.
If he can keep this up, I think he could have a career after Idol.
Oh my gosh, he's
sure.
like, I don't understand. I don't see why any record label wouldn't just snatch him the minute he gets kicked off.
Yeah, he was
because he's ready. They have no work to do. Yeah. He's ready.
Yeah, he was something else. That one made me get out of my chair.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So how
did he get me?
How? Show us how he made
Well, maybe
what it looked like.
maybe in a minute because there might be someone else that might make me jump out of my chair.
Okay.
Before that though, we have
Nick.
Yes, talk about your boy Nick. You like Nick?
I can't pronounce his last name.
Fradiani.
Italian.
Fradiani.
Oh my god, I just got a craving for Italian food.
Yum. Yes, he's so cute. P.S. But
great haircut.
Yes. His song was Ed Sheeran, Thinking Out Loud, which is another huge song right now. And I think he did it very, very well. He put a lot of power into his vocals, and Ed Sheeran doesn't sing it like that. He sings it more mellow and calm, from what I hear. So I think he kind of changed and made it his own a little bit. So I liked it. I really liked it.
Really?
Oh my God, stop looking at me like that.
I don't remember Nick. Like, I never remember him until he gets on the stage. I thought the song was, again, just like amateur. It was one where you would just like fast forward through. And I think his vocals, he like splatters his phrasing. Like, he'll sing it, and then at the end of it, it just is like he just spit all over the wall. And I would not in a million years download his version over Ed Sheeran's.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. That's a bold statement.
That's who I am.
That's who I am.
I think I fell somewhere in the middle between you two on that one. I think women are going to love him.
Do you though?
He's good looking guy. It's gonna get him past
older.
At least this week. Yes. I think. Why do you?
I just don't think he's memorable.
Interesting.
All right, so maybe so if we're looking for someone that's memorable, could Qaasim and Middleton be memorable? Could he be the one you remember? Does he make you want to get down? Does he make you want to Uptown Funk?
I was so disappointed in this performance. I was so looking forward to him because I think he's been crazy, insanely good this whole time and does all these cool things. I think, what was he wearing? That was distracting to me. The white suit. I thought it was. Oh, his hair looked cool. But I thought he took this Bruno Mars song that's like very sexy and fun and just made it awkward to watch. And I think his vocals weren't there. They weren't up to par, especially at the end when he was doing the breakdown. I think he completely lost it. And I really like him, and I want him to be in the top 5.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, you looking at me? Okay, because I can tell you because you may have to help us out here because I actually agree with Jason. I saw this. I honestly, he's a prime time performer. He's a performer. That's what he does. But I don't know if through all the theatrics and whatnot, we lost a little bit of the voice tonight.
Well, and this is the stage in the competition when, like, I remember last season, none of us had even thought about Gina as anything, and then she came to this live round, and we were all like, "Oh, who's this Gina girl? I think she sang a Paramore song or something."
Yes.
And then Kelly Clarkson, nobody thought about her for anything, and then she came and wowed us. I think Jordin Sparks did the same. So this is really like when the stars start to shine, and I thought he was going to continue to wow us. I think he still can, but I don't think tonight was his night.
Just even J-Lo said it. You're my type of performer.
Yeah.
And I think we are all going to get lost for the first few weeks, unless his voice just comes up to par with the performance, with the electricity that he brings.
I think he shouldn't sing a song that current.
Really?
Oh.
Because I think he can make old songs current. Or sing a song less obvious. Because you're comparing him to Bruno Mars, and he doesn't have that like sex appeal that Bruno Mars has. He has he's a really cool musician and he's a fun kid. And so I think it almost like cheapens the song.
Interesting.
I saw the girls; they were feeling him. They were.
I mean, he's a great performer, but I'm being hard on him because I know he can do way better.
I kind of agree with you guys.
We're all in this together.
When I realized that he's the last performer and before he hit the stage, I was like, oh my gosh, this is going to be incredible. It's going to be amazing. And then he hit the stage, and I was like, so this is the last performance? It should have been Quentin singing last. I also think, I totally agree about the song. The song choice was not good at all. It was very obvious, and you're right, it kind of did ruin the song. But his performance, his actual dancing, and the way he works the stage, I really love that.
Yeah, he's definitely an entertainer.
Yeah.
And I like the hair pulled back because we get to actually see what he looks like.
Okay, well, before we get into the predictions, we got to move on to a little news and gossip, but we have something special.
Yay.
Yes, we do.
We have a video. Now, Jason, set it up for us. What happened? What did you do? Did you get in trouble? What happened?
I didn't get in trouble this time. I interviewed David Cook yesterday, and we took fan questions, and we got, I think, like 300. So I picked the top 5 or 6, and hopefully he asked yours. This will be on YouTube tomorrow, as well as a full interview where he talks about the Phillip Phillips controversy.
Ooh.
So you're going to want to watch this, but hopefully your questions got asked. This is David Cook answering your questions.
What's going on? It's David Cook, and you're watching AFTERBUZZ TV.
Okay. Are you ready for this?
I think I'm ready. I'm loving the people kind of hanging out by the window here.
They're watching. These might be their questions.
What's going on, guys? How are you?
Hello. Let's see if this is them. We've got Cammie McKennelly, and she wants to know, what's your favorite song at the moment? And say hi to Minnesota.
What's up, Minnesota? Favorite song at the moment? Usually I try to actually be a little counterculture with these answers, but that Uptown Funk song is pretty damn great. So I got to go Uptown Funk. I got to do it. Ronson is a genius.
Would you ever cover that?
If I could pull it off, so probably not, but yeah.
We'll see. Challenge. Okay, this is from Grace C. for David.
Okay.
If he had to be in any boy band, which would it be? And it doesn't matter that you can't dance. Can you really not dance?
I choose not to. I'm sure I could. What was the one on MTV with Chris Farley's brother? Together?
Together, yeah.
That's the one I'd be in. Yeah.
Very obscure boy band.
Yeah, I like that one. I'm going with that one.
Okay. This is from Deb Quimby, and she wants to know, what is the significance of your new TMNT tattoo?
Oh, yeah. The significant. I've got a Ninja Turtle up here. Well, I'm a 32-year-old nerd, so I grew up loving the Turtles, and as long as I've been getting tattoos, I've always wanted a Ninja Turtle one. I don't know.
Yeah. That's a good answer. Good enough.
Not very deep. I just like the Ninja Turtles. I don't know. Yeah.
What's your strangest tattoo you have?
Strangest? Well, none of them are strange to me. I'm sure they're all at some degree strange. I got all my dog's paw prints right here, and I don't know. I don't know. Weird's tough.
Preference. That's kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, you know, I like my pups, so yeah, I'm a dog guy. So
Clearly. Okay. This is from Lisa D, and she wants to know, what would a good theme song for your life be?
God, I have no idea. Well,
It can be one of yours, probably.
no, that'd be weird.
A little too douchey.
Well, you know. The first one that popped up to mind was that Gnarls Barkley song, "Crazy."
Oh.
I don't know. I'll go. Yeah, I guess.
Should we be scared? Okay, we'll take it. And the final one is from Rap River Lady, and she says,
Twitter handle, by the way.
her name is Jenny, and she loves "Kiss You Tonight," and she wants to know, how do you decide which songs to keep and which to give other artists?
You know, I read an article from Sia recently who got asked kind of a similar question, and what she said really made sense to me because I hadn't really tuned into the reasoning before. You know, you write songs, and I think to some extent you're connected to every song. Otherwise, you know, it kind of fall flat. I think you're trying to connect with it. But I got songs that I think maybe strike a little bit more of a chord with me than others, or songs that make me a little bit more excited than others. And the ones that I think that I write that hit really close to home, I usually try to hold on to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well done, man.
Oh, that
So
was an
inside-
awesome interview.
Well done.
That was your questions.
Yeah, and it was the fans asking the questions. Come on, let's give the fans a
he
quick shout.
handled it very well.
Thank you.
Awesome as always, Jason. All right, let's move on. We got to go to predictions. What do we see tomorrow? It's the top 12 ladies. It's ladies' night.
Jax is gonna be super dramatic.
You almost say that with like a negative
Violet is
connotation.
not on
What's
Team
going on?
Jax right
she
now.
needs to win me back because I'm done with her shenanigans.
What? Good Lord, someone woke up on the wrong side of the bed.
I love Jax. I think tonight, who are we going to lose?
Well, okay, all right, yeah. Also, who is in trouble? Who is leaving?
Oh.
Which of the guys are leaving us? Okay, let's start out with who is our favorite. Should we all say it on the count of 3? 1, 2, 3.
Quentin and Raya.
Okay.
Riley. Riley Bria.
Oh, interesting.
And all right, who's in trouble? Who wants to start?
I'll start.
All right.
Adam, Michael, unfortunately, Trevor, Clark,
That's a lot.
and that's it.
I'm going to say Mark, Trevor, Clark. Oh, not Clark. I hope not Clark. Mark, Trevor, Nick. I hope not Clark. I don't know. Mark, Trevor, and Nick.
I'm going to go with Adam, Trevor. I know I'm going to. I hope I'm wrong. Savion.
No.
That's a shocker.
No.
Early shocker.
Early shocker.
Early shocker.
No.
Who do you think is going home? Who is your favorite? Let us know. And make sure, once again, to subscribe to our channel at youtube.com/AfterBuzz TV. And for the audio version, go to iTunes and SoundCloud. And before we're out of here, make sure to follow us on our Twitters and Instagrammers. Or Instagrams.
And Facebook.
And Facebook. So, Violet, where can they find you?
At Violet Kanian. So easy.
All right, Jason Ikeler.
At Jason Ikeler, even easier.
And the funkiest engineer in the booth. Who we got tonight? It's Josh, right?
That is right.
All right, where can we find you, buddy?
Oh, you can go at Radio TFB on Twitter if you're interested in something like that.
Nice. I am. And you can
Definitely.
follow me at JC Rubio TV on Instagram and Twitter. So for Josh, Jason, the lovely Violet, we'll see you next time. Bye.
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 Producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff. We would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.